connections to the Bushes. Why else did Jeb Bush endorse Ted Cruz? He is just going to be a continuation of the Bush administration. And if that's what people want, and they don't want to have this Republican Party go back to principle instead of politics and business as usual, that's what we are going to get if Ted Cruz becomes the nominee. And he will not defeat Hillary.
Awesome.
So my suggestion to Donald Trump, who I support wholly, is that we need to bring about the major differences between Trump and Cruz. They should not be categorized in the same, as being outsiders, because Ted is not an outsider.
Teal.
He's playing this role to get the religious people on board and to act like he is going to attack the establishment, but he is the establishment.
Yeah, Teal, let me ask you a question before I let Bill respond to your comment. Do you feel, according to Torn on the Spreaker chat box, if you guys want to go chat with me, go chat on, look for Spreaker and chat with me right on the app or on the website. Torn is saying that the establishment is basically using Ted Cruz until the convention. Do you think that's the case? And then I'll let Bill answer.
I totally think that's the case. And they say that the candidate will not be somebody running. The person they want at this brokered convention or whatever they call it, the person is going to be not currently running, and it could be Jeb Bush. This is their way of getting Bush back in and continuing on the Bush legacy. Because all this stuff with the United Nations, One World, the New World Order, all this stuff that actually George Bush's father started, right? He talks about a one world government way back when, he
right.
was.
When a lot of people don't know that. Yeah.
Running.
Yep.
So Jeb Bush would definitely be able to slip in because he's supporting Cruz now. Cruz will give it back to Bush. And this is just a way to carry on the Bush administration. And people aren't really opening their eyes. I'm going to not listening.
I'm going to let Bill respond to you. Thank you for calling. I'm going to keep you on the line so you can listen to Bill's response.
And this is just my opinion. I work. I work for an airline. I travel a lot. This is my opinion.
Okay.
It's not from what anybody's told me. I read everything.
So do we.
This is what I'm gathering. And I don't know. People need to open their minds to this. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for calling. You're very brilliant thoughts. Yeah. My understanding was that Ted Cruz was in the Bush administration, and he was not moving up as quickly as he hoped to. I mean, the guy's unbelievably ambitious. I mean, I give him that. It just has unbridled ambition. He wasn't moving up as quickly as he wanted to. So what he did is he decided to actually run as an outsider against the establishment for the Senate seat in Texas. And he ended up winning, okay? Mm-hmm. So it wasn't that he was really an outsider. It was just a role that he decided to play to fulfill his ambition. Right. Okay. And so when you look at Ted Cruz, you really wonder what his core beliefs are, because he seems to play various roles that all point back to the same thing, his ambition.
Yep.
So his core belief really is not the Constitution. It's not God. It's not Jesus Christ. It's his ambition.
Yeah.
And he will play whatever role he needs to play to further that.
Isn't it amazing? Before I get to the other callers online, the number to call is 347-338-1775. That's the number to call. And my co-host for tonight is Bill Mitchell. Bill, isn't it amazing that it's always, if you look back at this campaign, Ted Cruz is always, he says he's always separated from the scandals of his campaign. It's amazing. He's like the Godfather. He's too separated to kind of be charged with the crime. And it's infuriating to me for them to think that we are so dumb to realize that this is not all the same dirty money, and that super PACs do not communicate with the candidate. I mean, please, that's a farce. But
even.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Go ahead, Mark.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Mark. Finish up.
No, Bill, you mean, right?
I mean, Bill. No, Mark. You know what it is? I'm gonna before I let you finish, Mark. I'm looking at the chat box, and Mark is infuriated that news sites keep claiming that Trump attacked Ted's wife, and it's true. They keep claiming that. And here you have Ted Cruz proving my point again. Ted Cruz calling Donald Trump a coward. Meanwhile, if you think about it, Trump has been the only one that stood by most of what he says. He says, no, I don't. Yeah, we should stop Muslims. And he doesn't back off from his statements, where Ted Cruz hides behind his super PACs and his campaign. I mean, it's ridiculous. He's the coward. Go ahead, Bill.
Here's the thing, is that Trump said, Trump got upset with the Cruz campaign for running those ads in Utah that were trying to shame his wife. Okay. I personally thought she looked fabulous in the pictures. I didn't have a problem with it. But anyway, trying to shame his wife there in Utah. Now, Ted Cruz says, it was a PAC that did it. I have no control over that. Really? You knew the ads were running, Ted. Why didn't you immediately disavow them and demand they be pulled down? It's like what happened in Iowa.
He did it after the fact. He did it after the fact.
Yeah, he didn't demand that your people stop telling lies about Carson until after the election was over, and then you're like, "Oh, gee whiz, I'm so sorry."
Yeah.
So this is the guy that stabs you in the back, takes advantage of it, and then when all the bleeding is over, okay, then he says, "Oh, I am so sorry that happened." It's a continual pattern. It happens over and over again.
Exactly, and it's almost like once everything is said and done, like you said, and he's benefited from these lies, he comes out and he denounces it. Because if you realize, the only reason why that ad came out was because Utah is full of Mormons, and he was pandering to their religious beliefs by putting that picture of Melania Trump on. But I want to hit the phone lines here. Hold on. I have too many phone calls, and I promised everybody they would come through. I want to welcome in Kelly from Texas. Kelly from Texas, welcome to the Sound Majority.
Hey, guys. I follow both online. I think I've called in before. What I want to say is that you're talking about, like, he doesn't take responsibility. If you remember, he also didn't take responsibility for the emails going out about Rubio dropping out in Hawaii.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, there's a pattern. He never takes responsibility, number one. And I would have to agree with the other caller. They really need to separate them and push it that they are not out, both outside. Just Cruz is far from it. And another thing is that part, about Cruz's wife being, picked up, and she's kind of not like all right-minded. I'll use that word.
Right.
Is true. And when he was running in the Senate, for senator here in Texas, part of his extra stuff came out, and then they tried to squash it, but obviously I guess it didn't work here, because he was running, kind of like the outsider here in Texas. And but I remember it. I've been trying to go back over and look, because I know he pulled some dirty stuff on the guy that he was running against here.
He's a master of dirty tricks. One thing that people need to realize about Heidi Cruz, when they think that she's being victimized right now, pardon me, by Donald Trump, is based upon her background and based upon the way she keeps referring this to as, this is our campaign. Not Ted's campaign, this is our campaign. That Heidi Cruz fully intends, in my opinion, to have a co-presidency with Ted Cruz.
Of course.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
This is a very ambitious, very accomplished woman. She is not going to be relegated to, wearing $20,000 dresses at state dinners and giving the little, Queen's wave to everybody. She is going to be heavily involved. As such, her mental health is important. Okay. Now, yes, I've had people think, it's hard. You can't be hard on people that have suffer with depression. Listen, I have suffered with depression. It's very mild, and what happens to me is it just makes it hard for me to think sometimes. Everybody's depression shows up different ways. Some people makes them sad. Some people, it makes it hard for them to think, hard for focus, whatever, okay? But there are different degrees. And if you have depression so badly that you're actually contemplating suicide, that is a whole nother level, okay? That's like the difference between murder and shoplifting. Okay, they're both crimes. One's much worse.
Exactly.
So it needs to be vetted.
Yep.
It needs to be vetted. That's all there is to it.
Absolutely. Kelly, I want to thank you.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think she could handle it. Like, I went through, a part of depression with so many scars, through the breast cancer and blah, blah, blah. But I never thought about killing myself.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Kelly.
Nobody found me on the side of the road.
Yeah. Well, Kelly, I want.
And I think that's when it is extra stuff. So no, I agree with y'all earlier. I was listening that that's why he's not denying it. If you notice, he keeps deflecting. And I'm sorry, the only coward is him. He started it. He knew about it. Come on, Mitt Romney is part of that pack, and he endorsed him. He knew. But I think I do think more needs to be looked into her, mental health, because I don't think she's going to be able to handle.
Yeah, well, Kelly,
because there's I met Laura Bush, and they're busy. They do a lot.
Yeah, Kelly,
and I don't think she.
Yeah, Kelly, I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you, but the phone lines are jam-packed here, and I promised everybody I would get them in. But Kelly, thank you for calling, okay? And I want you to have a healthy rest of your life there. I'm glad that you're a cancer survivor there. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks.
Bye-bye. So I want to pick up at this time Lisa from Illinois. Welcome to the Silent Majority.
I just want to make a comment.
Sure.
And I want to say that I'm really, really angry about how arrogant and condescending the GOP is, and Kasich and Romney getting on there, and they just act like they are overlords or something.
Lisa,
they're going to tell us how they're going to rule us.
Lisa, you bring up a great point. How do you feel the fact that you have Paul Ryan, the Speaker of the House, constantly talking down to his constituents, and gives a free he gives a free pass to the Democrats and their followers. He's always talking down to us.
I feel like they're no different from the Democrats. They're no different. All they've done for years is tell us we're racist and talk about us and lie about us. The American people, we're bad people. That's what the liberals have done for how many years, and now the Republicans are doing the exact same thing. Yeah. We're uneducated. We're racist, and that's not who we are. Oh, you don't know who we are. Don't speak for me, okay?
Right. How do you feel? Also, Lisa, how do you feel that you have a candidate in Ted Cruz who's constantly saying he's an outsider? Meanwhile, he's using the same tactics that the establishment's using on Donald Trump now, constantly throwing him under the bus, as someone mentioned in the chat line here on Spreaker, constantly throwing him under the bus, whether it's the blaming the Chicago riots on him or blaming the Brussels attacks on him because of his NATO comments. How do you feel about that as a voter? I mean, doesn't that infuriate you? I mean, I know you said it already, but isn't that
it's scary too?
Isn't it scary how they're all playing by the same playbook, and that's what frustrates them the most on Donald Trump, because Donald Trump is playing by a different playbook.
Any length to discredit people that they disagree with, any length.
Right. Bill Mitchell, I'm going to let Lisa. I'm going to let Bill Mitchell respond to you. Okay, Bill Mitchell, you want to respond to Lisa from Illinois?
Hey, Lisa. I think that what you've got in the GOP establishment right now is you've got a small group that's making a lot of noise. Okay, it's like the environmentalists. Okay, it's a very small group that makes a lot of noise. Because I just read an article by a guy that works in a member of the House, and he said, you know what? On the actual floor of the House, there is a lot of support for Donald Trump. A lot. They're keeping their mouths shut because they don't want to make waves right now, but there's a lot of support for Donald Trump. I think we've got a handful of people that are these neocons and that are afraid of losing their power, that are waving their arms and making a lot of noise. But I think when it comes right down to it, at the convention, there's going to be a lot more support for Donald Trump than you think there's going to be.
Well,
I think he's going to make $12.37.
Media quit lying. The media lies. They do nothing but lie.
Well, it's not going to happen.
Lisa, they do.
Lisa, it's not going to happen. I mean, this is why I created this show, is because I was so frustrated with what's out there, and I said to myself, why not create a show where I can have people call in and vent the frustrations like I'm venting in here. Again, Lisa, I want to thank you for calling, and I want you to listen again, okay?
Thank you.
Thanks, Lisa.
You're welcome. Let's go to Tim from North Carolina. Welcome to the Silent Majority here, Tim.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. Listening to your show here, I really have two questions.
Sure.
The first one is why wouldn't Trump accept Ted Cruz's challenge to the debate? And I'm curious of what your guys' thoughts are on that.
Well, I can respond first to that.